first we're going to install the regulator into your CO2. And this is what we're going to need. You need your CO2 tank, you need your regulator. You need to make sure that there's a O-ring in the regulator before you install it. Okay, you go in this way, you're going to turn this on here and install it this way. Tighten this all the way. You got your wrench here to install this tightly. There you go. Next, we will install the CO2 line to the regulator. Make sure that you got an O-ring on your CO2 line at the end here that's going to go into your regulator. Install it this way. Next, we got to make sure that the CO2 tank is strapped into position. You got your regulator connected to the CO2 tank, and you got your CO2 hose connected to your regulator. Very important that you shut your valves all the way off on your regulator and on your tank before you connect it to the coupler. Next, we will be tapping the keg by lining up the grooves on the coupler with the grooves on the keg and turning clockwise. Now, it is very important that you do not pull and push the handle into the lock position until first you make sure that your CO2 line and your beer line are connected into place. Otherwise, beer will shoot out of the top of the coupler if there's built-up pressure in the keg. Therefore, you do not want to put it into the lock position until you have both lines connected. Next, we're going to connect the CO2 line into your coupler. Very important that this tapered washer, rubber washer, is in place. Goes like this. Very simple. Now you also got to make sure that there's an O-ring connected to the end of the CO2 line. And just screw it on this way. To install the tower, we begin by feeding the beer line down the hole, top of the unit, lining up the grooves with the faucet facing right as you're going to be turning clockwise. And you're done. Next, we will connect the beer line, which is coming from your beer tower, down through your refrigerator, down to the coupler. And very important that you got your marble in here, you got your choke, and on your choke you got your rubber washer. Goes in there. Now you're going to connect the wing nut and screw it on there. Very important that this is flat while you start screwing this on tightly this way. Okay, now we have it all set up. we're going to open up the CO2 tank here, turn it counterclockwise, quarter to half a turn. This is what you're going to regulate the pressure being sent over to the coupler and dispense the beer. So we're going to have this all the way down to begin with, and you'll regulate it up. Now we're ready to put your keg in the refrigerator. Got to make sure we got a keg base board in here. You don't got a keg base board, you won't have the sufficient clearance for the door to close. Okay, let's go this way.